Okay people, so today we're doing module 3.2 page 172 in the IT is great at grade 10 textbook. Okay, so we're gonna start with electronic communication. Okay, so what is electronic communication? It's basically any form of communication that can take place via electronic means. Okay, so in other words, it's just the way or the process which computers use to communicate, such as if you're on a smartphone or on your computer and you exchange messages via digital data. Okay, you get a certain, well, quite a lot of applications that facilitates e-communication, and that's just basically applications or tools or programs that we use to communicate electronically. A few of these include email. So email is, as we know, it's basically electronic mail. So you compose, send, receive messages electronically over a network, which also includes the internet. We get social networking sites. So a social networking site is like Facebook or LinkedIn, or what else is there, Instagram. You can basically post your own stuff. You can go like, dislike, whatever you want to do. You can communicate with friends. So you basically just, it's a social networking site. Okay, so you can just read through those. We've got online chat. So online chat is basically an applications that you can use. So normally it's 2 or more people. So in the older days, online chat were like basically a group chat or whatever is the equivalent of today's WhatsApp groups we have. Normally it was also, I think it was called chat rooms. So where you would go in, there would be strangers, or you can have one that all your friends are in, and then you can basically have conversations with these people by just sending messages on that chat. Okay. Yeah, it says also, I think it's before your time, but when I was younger we had Mixit, so that was like how you meet people or chat with your friends, and it's a bit more real time than email, where email is you can send a message on mail to someone, and then let's say in a day they actually open their emails and then they respond to you, whereas the online chat, it was more just a bit more quicker, or a bit more real time. So you would send a message, they would immediately see it, and then they can reply and so forth. Then we have got instant messaging. So instant messaging, or called IM, is basically what we know today, like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, all those, Telegram. It's just basically a text-based communication that sends real-time messages, and then people can just communicate via it. Some instant messaging services includes that you can send voice notes, take videos and send it over, and then obviously as well can join groups, just like it's basically the online chat but just a bit more personal. Okay, then we get SMSs and MMS. So SMS stands for short message service. MMS is multimedia service. Okay, so basically SMSs, I don't know if people actually use it these days anymore. Normally you would just send someone a WhatsApp, which is much faster, better, cheaper. SMSs were also a bit more used back in the old days, and it's basically you just send someone a brief typed message between cell phones. Okay, and if you wanted to use or send an image, a good night image or video and stuff, or sound, then you would have used the MMS service, which were like just a service that you had to install in order to send stuff over SMS. Then we've got, here's one way. So negative points of e-communication, just before I forget this. Okay, so messaging, especially instant messaging, has made it easier for people to cheat on exams. So that's why at school, if you write exam, normally we say all cell phones must be in your bag. Then we also get cyberbullying. So we know what bullying is, and cyberbullying has emerged in a couple of years. It's basically where people spread rumors, gossip, or make fun of people over the internet, and then they just literally bully a person, which all fun and games until the person actually it can lead to them committing suicide. So cyberbullying is one of the greatest negative implications of e-communication. Just another thing I just want to mention, cyber slacking. So that is where people like working for a company or children at school would actually be more on their phones than doing actual work. Okay, because they would be more on the social networking sites, scrolling Facebook for 3 hours instead of doing their work. So that's a term, cyber slacking is used for that term over there. Then we have video conferencing. So it's basically just an application that allows people to hold online conferences. So you can be at different locations, but if you are connected to a network like the internet, you can just transmit audio and video, and then it's basically what we are doing right now. So we've got Discord open. Okay, you can see my oh no, you can't even see my screen. But if we had class in the lockdown, you can see my screen, you can hear what I say, I can hear you, and that's basically video conferencing. Okay, what makes it video is that I was streaming my screen, so I was sending a video to you. Okay, in order to do video conferencing, so this is more about people that want to see their faces, you need a webcam, which basically is just a video camera. You need a microphone to speak into, and then speakers so that you can actually hear the other people when they speak. Okay, then we have something called VoIP, which is a voice over IP internet protocol. Okay, so that is basically, if you think of it as a telephone call, if you phone someone, you speak over the phone with them. So that is basically exactly the same, but you're just doing it over the internet. Okay, so you can set up normally, if I didn't have my screen shared with you, like in this case, I'm just talking to you over the internet, then that would use more of the VoIP, the voice over internet protocol. Okay. Then email. Okay, we mentioned email, but let's see, how does email work? Okay, so sorry people, email is basically, if you type an email on a computer or on a phone, you would normally send it to a recipient, for example joesmith@icon.co.za. Once you send that message or email basically is sent to the email server at your ISP. Okay, ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. Okay, then from there the email is sent basically to the email server at the receiver's ISP. So from you to your ISP, and then from that ISP server it goes to your whoever is receiving your emails server, your ISP server of them, and then from there they can just check the emails onto the server, or they can download the emails onto their devices, etc. Okay, so an ISP, which is an internet service provider, is just basically a company that has permanent fast connection to the internet and sells that internet access to people or organizations for a monthly fee. It's like having Telkom, you pay them monthly and then you have internet at home. Okay, a few advantages of email. So email messages can be delivered and replied to much faster than traditional posting mail. Emails can be sent anytime from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. It is inexpensive to send and receive emails, and emails protects the environment as it cuts down on the use of paper. Okay, disadvantages of emails. The recipient needs access to the internet to receive the email. So if you went on holiday, there's no internet, you won't be able to receive your emails. Viruses are easily spread via email attachments. There's no guarantee that the person you are sending to the email, they will immediately read it. So like I said, it can take up to days before someone realizes, oh, I need to go look at my emails. So it can be a bit of a delay. Okay, then there's something called ISP and web-based accounts. Okay, so here it's actually just referring to email, and it's basically just a web-based email or webmail, as they call it. It's just a service that basically allows you to have an email account through a web browser from any location as long as you've got internet access. Normally you sign up for free for a web-based, and yeah, normally Gmail is your biggest web-based email provider. Then you've got Yahoo. I think that's the most important ones, is Yahoo Mail, Gmail, which is offered at Yahoo and Gmail. That's basically what web-based email is. Then ISP-based email is basically when you pay them a monthly fee. So Microsoft is one of those people, Microsoft Outlook. You need, how can I say this, software basically to access this email. So web-based, like I said, it was in the browser. You can go anywhere in the world. You just go onto the browser, type in Gmail, type in your email, your password, you receive your emails. Whereas the ISP is basically, it's part of a contract basically. Okay, so you will access your email by using certain software. So in most cases it's Microsoft Outlook and Outlook Express that you can install on a computer, and then you basically have to set that software up so that your account will be loaded onto it. So then when you need to access it, then you can only access it with that computer. You can't log into the browser. Okay. One thing to note is just today's ISP based email, there is possibilities, like I've got an Outlook account that I can go onto the internet and I can go look at my emails, but that's because I'm paying a monthly fee and I'm paying Microsoft Office 365, so that allows me to go onto the internet, access Outlook online, and then get my emails through any device. Okay, but normal circumstances, you need to pay a monthly fee to use the ISP based email. A few differences between web-based and ISP-based is the web-based can be accessed using a web browser at any place that has internet access, whereas the ISP, you would usually receive ISP-based emails on your own computer using software that has been set up to your email. Okay. There it says, however, most ISPs also offer their clients a web-based service so that they are able to access the email remotely when they are not at their local computer. But that is very minimum. Okay. With web-based mail, you have to stay online to read, create, edit and receive emails. So if you drop connection, then you can't read or create, edit emails. The messages are stored on the web and it is not downloaded to your computer itself, unless you obviously download it itself. But whereas the ISP based email can be accessed without being online, because it downloads all the messages basically to your computer, and then even without internet you can still go back and read all your emails. Okay, only thing is, if you want to send an email, you just need to go online. The webmail is free of charge, although you have to pay for the internet access. And then ISP basically has a monthly charge in addition to the cost of internet access. So normally your internet service provider, if you're at Telkom, you would pay them a monthly fee, and then the price of your email account is basically worked into the price of the internet. So then you would get your internet and an email address. Okay, so how an email address is made up is basically the first part before the @ is called a username. Then after the @ the whole part after the @, so from the first character till the last character is called the domain. So after the @ it's called the domain. So the first part of the domain would be your service provider's ID, so Gmail, Telkom, Yahoo, etc. Then you have a dot. So the next one is a type of organization. So you either get like a business, which is a edu, which is education, gov, which is government, co, which is a company, ac, academics, and so forth. Then the last part of the domain is just where that geographical location is. So you will see on page 177 there's a few there. It's not limited to those, but ZA is South Africa, UK is United Kingdom, AU is Australia, FR France, etc. Okay, then you can just page through the practical use of email, like sending a message, receiving, what is carbon copy, courtesy copy, etc. Just work through those pages. Then let's see what else is there. Okay, nothing. Okay, let me quickly go through the glossary. So cap is basically the amount of data an ISP allows a person to upload and download in a month. Okay, so if you normally take a contract for internet, you will see they have what is called a uncapped or a soft cap, or just, well, a set amount. So with uncapped, it's basically unlimited data that you can download and upload in a month. Okay, so it is uncapped. Whereas capped data, they would normally give you like 100 gig, so that you can only upload and download to the amount of 100 gig, and then you've got no more internet access. So that is what cap is. Okay, electronic communication, like we said, is communication that refers to all the forms of communication via electronic means. Okay, electronic mail, so email is the composing, sending and receiving messages electronically over a network, including the internet. Okay, instant messaging is an online text-based communication, usually between two people using computers or other devices such as cell phones. We've got ISP, or Internet Service Provider, which is basically a company that has a permanent fast connection to internet and sells that internet access to other people. ISP based email is when using ISP based email, you will be able to access your email by using software such as Microsoft Outlook and Outlook Express on a PC or laptop, or even on a smartphone. And that software is then basically set up in the settings to just use your account. Okay, we've got messaging, which refers to the exchange of brief, so basically short typed messages between cell phones. That can be in the form of SMS, which is short message service, and also can contain images, videos and sound, which you use multimedia message service for. Okay, online chat is an application that gives 2 or more people the ability to have a conversation by just typing on a computer or cell phone and then using the internet to deliver the messages. We have social networking sites. So a social networking site is where individuals or people can post their likes, dislikes, interests, photographs and activities for all of their friends to basically to see. Okay, then we have video conferencing. With video conferencing, it's just the ability to hold an online conference between 2 or more people at different locations using a computer network to transmit audio and video data as if obviously they were in the same room. Then we've got VoIP, or Voice over Internet Protocol, which is basically technology that allows telephone calls to be made over LANs, WANs and the internet. Okay, and then lastly we've got web-based email, which is basically a service that allows you to access an email account through a web browser from any location as long as you've got internet access. Okay, so that then wraps up basically all the chapters you need to know. So Mr. Grenier did already the first part, and then module 3.1 and then 3.2. So we don't include module 3.3, although it is handy to know it. We are not focusing on 3.3 for the test anymore. Okay, so it's just going to give you, how can I say, a boost if you read through 3.3. But yeah, that is basically all for tomorrow's test. So we'll be online on WhatsApp. If you've got any questions, you can just ask and then we'll reply to it as soon as possible. But yeah, I think that basically covers everything up for tomorrow's test. Can't really think of anything else. What you maybe can learn, make sure you know all the glossaries of all the pages, and then you should be set.